What's going on, guys? Red Ronald Music here, bringing you another video. Today I'm going to be doing a build and drive episode of my Nissan Datsun 510. This thing is awesome, first of all, because it's a little tiny ass car, and that makes it very good for tuning to make a race car or a drift car or whatever you want to do. The build we're doing is specifically for racing. I mean, you can get the car sideways, but with tires like that in the front, as you can see, they're very small. It's not going to get you very far. So, this is a race build of my Datsun 510. So, let's get into it. First off, we're going to revert it back to stock. So, as you see, now it looks like a piece of crap. It still has this beautiful design by some dude, I forgot his name because I clicked this a while ago and I didn't look, but it's a very nice design. It's in the top ones that you see when you buy the car. First off, we're going to go to conversion. We are going to throw the 2.6 liter inline 6 twin turbo into it, giving us 260 something more horsepower. Then we're going to go put the wide body on just because it looks good. It looks aggressive and very race car like. Everything else we're going to leave alone in there. Alright, in the aero section, we're going to take off the front bumper. Just because I think it makes it look better, honestly. And it reduces weight. Then we're going to put the wing. And then you can take off the rear bumper. I don't know how much it will improve your points once you get this thing going. But for me, I left it on just because it adds weight to the back. Because this thing does get tail happy a little bit. Then we go with the tires. We're going to want race tires. Takes it to A class. That eats up most of it. For the front, we're going to leave them stock. We're not going to change the front tire size. For the back, we're going to want 255s in the back. Those fat tires for this little tiny ass car. And rims, you could do whatever you want. Just make sure it keeps it in A class. I have this build for A class, so that's where it works best. I like these. These are what I had on before, the Rotiform FUC. I just like them because they're extra like deep, and it just makes it look cooler. For rim size, we want 15s front and back. Honestly, it doesn't matter too much. I just like how it looks. Like it makes it look nicer when they're bigger. So then we're going to go to the drivetrain section. We want the race clutch, the race transmission, the race driveline, and the race differential. Because we want to be able to tune it to put that power from the inline 6 twin turbo down. Because those twin turbos will pick this thing up. We want race brakes, race suspension, or springs and dampers, I guess. Race roll bars. And we want sport chassis. We can't do the cage because it upgrades it a little too much. If you want it for the look, you could shave something off of one of these upgrades, maybe the tires or something. Make the ones in the back a little less fat, but you're gonna do that at the expense of some grip. And weight reduction we're not going to do, because this thing is tiny anyway. And when we get to engine, the only things we're doing are in camshaft, we're going to sport for a little more speed. We're going to want the race twin turbos for an extra 100 horsepower that takes us to 484, which is a lot for something that is only 2.3 thousand pounds yet. And then we want intercooler. And we want race and oil cooling. And the race flywheel so you get some throttle response. That's about it for this car. Those are all of the parts that you're going to want. I forgot what that was going to cost you because I own all of it. But we're going to go ahead and throw that on. There's some other builds you could do with this car. Like, I'm sure you could put it down to like B class or whatever. But I like it like this because it's more of a... It's more of a race spec vehicle. Like, it's got a lot of power for what it is. So we got to tuning now. For tire pressure, I'm going to drop this down to 27.5 for the front, 26.5 in the back. All right, so in gearing, we are going to go to 3.63 for final drive. That gives us some acceleration for the car, and that makes it like competitive with other cars in the class, and it actually makes it a little more, it gives it an edge, actually. Like, I could keep up with S1 class cars in this thing. First gear, we're going to drop down to 2.37, so you don't get too ridiculous of wheel spin. It cuts the power back a little bit. It stretches it out. For second gear, we're going to go up to, I had 208, but I think I'm going to leave it around 2 flat. Third gear, we leave. Fourth gear, we leave. Fifth gear, we knock it down a little bit to 0.91. And sixth gear, we drop down 0.1. In alignment, we're going to go to negative 1.1 camber in the front, negative 0.4 in the back, positive 0.6 in the front for toe, so it has some turn-in response. This thing will understeer if you can't figure out how to balance the power. So I would adjust it to your preference. This is usually how I like my cars. I like them to understeer a little bit, just so I don't go like flying through a turn too hard, and then I go, you know, I don't like to oversteer too much. So I'd rather have the understeer, which most people are probably like, oh, that's stupid, but that's what I like. So rear toe, we're gonna put it down to -1. For the caster, we are going to go to 6.1. Roll bars, we're going to 28.75, or as close as you could get to that. The rear, we're going to keep the same. Springs, we're going to keep the same. Front, we're going to the ride height, we're going for the front 6.2. The back, I'm going to do the same, I guess. Damping, we're going 13.3 for the front. Rear, we're going 10.3 for the rear, yeah. Then 6.2 for front bump stiffness. Actually, no, we're going to 8.7. My bad. I wrote all this down so I could put it back, so I gotta get myself in the game here. Then we're going to 7.7 for the rear. For this, we are going to, the front's locked because I didn't put a bumper or anything. I don't even know if there's an option for like an actual bumper. There probably is if you take off the wide body, but this we're going up to 141 for the rear, for the wing. Brake pressure, I'm gonna put it 61%, which is gonna put it towards the front. Pressure, we're leaving at 100. Differential, we're going 50-23, and it doesn't make you understeer too bad. You could probably get away with going lower on deceleration, but this is what I had it at, so I'm gonna go with that. And that's the setup. So now we're gonna take it to the streets, whip it around a little bit, and we'll call it a day. Oh my god, I was in an online campaign that whole time. I'd like turned off the Xbox and got back on. What the hell? So you can see this thing gets power. And it sounds crazy too. But it gets power. Like, you get this wheel spin. So if you can control it, you're set. You might want to run it with traction control, honestly. Some people might be like, oh no, don't do that. But sometimes traction control is actually a better option than not having it. It allows you to use your car if it's too powerful. Which, adding big ass twin turbos into this thing, you're gonna get some power. We're rocking 25 pounds of boost at about 504 horsepower. I would say that went up to. I need to look at where I'm going. I'm reading. This thing's quite a beast, and it is very good for A-class racing as long as you can control that understeer. So you want to brake early, and you definitely want to be rocking the manual with clutch for sure. Because you want to, like, if you're getting too much understeer, you just clutch kick it, and the ass will come out, and then you'll be able to get yourself through the turn at the expense of some grip. But we go fast. Like, it's rare you're gonna have a straight. It's not the fastest thing, I'm sure. Like, I'm gonna go push it down the highway. I gotta remember that this turns up, you always fly off of it. No, but like I said, I actually use this car. Like, this is my car that I use in A-class races. And it's I seem to win unless some reason the understeer causes me to lose. And that's just like because I drive everything. So once you get used to like controlling the understeer, you're competitive. Like you're good to go. Like I said, it's rare you're ever gonna have a straight this long. But either way, throughout the race, you're gonna have the acceleration to get you boosted. Like this thing launches in these early gears. It's just that top speed. It's a little problem. You can tune the gears to your preference too. Like, depending on what you're doing with the car. I don't know if you're gonna do like actual online races or if you're just gonna make up races with your friends or something. But you can adjust it how you like. But that's about it for this one. Hopefully, if you guys build this car, you enjoy it. It is definitely my favorite car that I have built so far. The 190E is also very cool, but I like this thing a little more just because it's more of a... It's like a stock car type of thing in a way. It's cool. It's like a little race car. The 190A, I have it looking like a street car. Anyways, that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. See y'all later with the next episode.